right. Any way this is working at all? Anyway. Wow, it's working. Can't believe it. Oh, I gotta move. All right, you can hear me? This is great. Oh. It'll be back in a second. It's coming back. Don't worry. There we go. Well. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's great. I can't believe this is working. Hopefully people see it. No. Bad dog. Bad dog. Check one. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, this might be the earliest Burn Barrel podcast I've ever done. Maybe not. Around there. If it's not, then it was 2020 that I did one this early. There's no way there was any more recent. Although Alice and I did one a couple of years ago at the lake, at a lake in Vermont, and that was pretty early too. But that reminds me. That's the point. Is this? The point is this. Is this morning, every morning I drive my daughter to Fauntleroy Academy, okay? I'm reading resumes. Let's roll loud and clear. Hey, beautiful. So, I drive my daughter to school, high school. It's a good situation there. She knows what she wants to do. She's a good student. She does extracurriculars. What, does it not sound good, Tommy? And she knows what she wants to do. It's like she's got her stuff together. I guess it's probably a girl thing, but she's just got it together at the moment. And so she wants to be an engineer, and so she's doing stuff to be an engineer, and then she wants to be the person who flies rocket ships, that thing. And so it's like she's on the course for the thing that should be the thing, and so she's on course. The world makes sense to her. She's only 15, so far everything has pretty much made sense to her, and the other stuff she just hasn't noticed. Really. Like she mentions, or she remembers a few years ago when Alice and I were having a little bit of trouble, and that it was a tough time, like the kids were a little confused and things, but now, they're all moved on and adjusted, and it's just a little blip. And so it all makes sense. So this morning, I'm driving her, and I really love driving her. It's a joy. First of all, she's like a nice person. She's a chatterbox. So I have all the details, whether I want it or not, I'm getting all the details on all her friends. She doesn't leave anything unaired. Like everything goes, she airs out everything about her friends, and this guy is being a jerk to this guy, and this guy's weird like this, and this guy's nice, and then this girl is having emotional issues, and this girl's good at math, but she's also good at, if you want minutia, she's a minutia queen. She's got it all. She does not care whether or not, a lot of people would feel it's almost a sort of bullying, just the onslaught, the beatdown of just insignificant anecdotes you get. But it's good because I get to talk to her, and I like her, and she's got a good taste in music. So I've been trying to teach her or show her more music. She's done it to me too. She's introduced me to a lot of young people's music that's like really good. I enjoy a lot of this stuff. that she shows me. Some of it's rubbish. Like, I don't enjoy any of the hip hop. I think that's rubbish. But some of the stuff is like really good, and I show her some stuff. And it means so. This morning I played her "Nobody Told Me" by John Lennon. You know this song. It's like the last single they released. It was after he was dead. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. That song. Great song. Great Lennon song. And I watched her experience, like, one of the lyrics says, "There's Nazis in the bathroom just below the stairs." And she was like quizzical, and I said, yeah, it's just John Lennon's imagery. What it means is nobody told me there'd be, nothing makes sense. And I thought, that is very interesting. That, like, nobody told me there'd be days like these. It's such a great song, and so literally, like, on it and right. Like, did you have any, Tim and Canton's watching the, is tuned in right now. Tim had a heart attack a few years ago. Like, did anybody did you ever think that you'd be in your 50s with chest pains, waiting somewhere while you're told you're having a heart attack and calling into your favorite podcast show at the same time? You like, life drops you as you get older in places that you just didn't see coming at all. At all. Glass Tiger. Yeah, I like Glass Tiger. I hate to say it. So, like, one of the things that I was thinking about today was when my daughter likes a song I play for her. Like, I played, what was the song? Don't sleep in the subway, darling. That song, and she loved it. And she said, wow, oh, I love this, I love this. And she said, it sounds like kind of Pet Sounds. And I thought, wow, that's right, it does. And it's a good song, and I love that she loved it. So, talk about nobody told me. Like, nobody told me that the mood of my day, or I'd feel like I won the lottery if I play something that some 15-year-old girl likes, you know? But it's true. And I was thrilled, and I'm trying to, like, it means a lot to me if she likes the songs. So today I played Bowie, Just Dance. Is it Just Dance? Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's a Bowie. Did I say David Brudnoy? David Bowie song. And, yeah, well, there you go, Tommy. So Tommy is responsible for Tim's heart attack. And so he would be a murderer. Well, he almost was. He's an attempted murderer. Like, he didn't think that he'd be, however old Tommy is, walking around as somebody who almost whacked out Tim. But, like, no, you just never know. You find yourselves in these situations. Sometimes I get emotional during the day. I've told you about this. And very occasionally I'll just be emotional. I'm not responsible for being emotional. I don't believe I am like a psychotic or anything. And I wasn't even an emotion guy, and you probably weren't either, but sometimes you just, like, find yourself emotional. And there's either two places I go. If I'm starting to get, like, overwhelmed with these, like, more... And two places I go. One, I'll go to the Seabrook Market Basket because it's bright and there's a lot of stuff happening there. And it's just a distraction. Or a couple of times I've gone to the Seabrook, and Seabrook is just on the way. It's just close to me. Seabrook, New Hampshire. I'm not saying that you should necessarily look for property there, but it's got some things that I like, including the BJs with free air for the tires. So in the other place I'll go to is the Brook, the casino, the Brook. Very occasionally, if I go to the Brook on a weekend, I will grab a morning Bloody Mary. And I'm a believer in a one-off Bloody Mary in the morning. I think you can change the channel or switch things up or just whatever. Just a one-off. I'm not saying, like, start pounding in the morning. And I don't, like, that's not my strong suit to do that. I would be finito and de-weed damn quickly. So here's what I'm saying. Here's another one. My son, nobody told you, right? Nobody told you there'd be days like these. I have a son named Anson Shattuck. All my sons. It's, like, amazing, like, how pathetic you get to be when you're a parent. Like, my son this morning, Anson, was going away, and going away to the bus stop is where he was going, which is exactly 10 feet away. Oh, God. Tim, that's terrible. Tim says my 50-year-old neighbor didn't wake up Sunday. 3 young kids. Oy. Yeah. So the other day, another reason why I like the Seabrook, is that I'm not a gambling addict. Although I think I am a gambling addict, it just hasn't been, the app hasn't been mobilized yet. I've got it in me. There's no doubt about it. I can feel how that would be my thing. But so I get to go to a place where everybody else is the addict, and I'm not currently engaged as one, so I can feel better then. So, that and other people who gamble, who yell at the TVs and sports bars, I don't have that either. I have no disposable income to have that. Okay, so the other thing is this. My son, Anson, is going to the bus stop this morning, and I said, all right, Anson, you got everything you need? He says, yeah. Yep, I'm all set. And he's a sweet kid. And he's 10, I believe. And I said, okay, I love you. And he says, okay, thank you. And I said, okay, I love you. And he said, okay. And he turns and looks at me as if I'm like, why am I repeating myself? And then I say, I love you. And I force it out of him. And he says, I love you too. And even though it was forced, like disgracefully out of him, it still made me feel like $1 million. And like, nobody tells you you're going to be that person. I'm not saying, and it's not even a sad thing. Like, if you told me that my life would be at 53 to have my 10-year-old son to force out of him, and I love you back, I would think, like, what a pathetic existence. But it's really not. Like, you are not. By this time, if you're in your 50s or older, I think, and for other people, it could be different ages. I assume I'm a late bloomer. You've just seen a whole lot of stuff that you just wouldn't know. And you see stuff like that's how, when time moves on, when your parents are dead. I still hear people. I know somebody who's in her 30s and is talking about on social media her grandfather being sick. And I'm like, who the fuck is grandparents anymore? Like, you seriously? You're dumping this on us on Facebook that your grandfather's sick? Like, get out of here with it. We are beyond that. But then again, she doesn't know because she lives in a world where grandfathers are alive still. To me, it's amazing. And most of you guys don't have parents anymore. Or some of you guys have parents or a parent, and you're having to deal with an old and sometimes sick parent. And that's also a cluster bleep. Like, talk about nobody told you. Nobody told you you'd be the caretaker of the person who still needs you. I feel like I'm the soldier Patton slapped, but I'm not bitching and moaning. I'm saying there's incredible things. Like, I think life has been fantastic. Life is, like, great. And, I was talking to some person in the chat today. We were talking, he was saying that his son is absent from school a lot, like almost all the time, half the time. And it doesn't matter because his son's going to get into something, a different field that doesn't require school. And I think that's great. And my wife and Alice and I, were talking to our own son, who's actually, for some reason, I think that he's social. I don't even know why he is. He's going to listen to this. I don't want to put him on the spot. He's not very interested in school. He gets good grades. I think every kid gets good grades in this school district. I don't know. But he gets good grades. He's not all that interested in school. He likes bits and when people go crazy in school. And he's kind of like Tim, actually. He enjoys the chaos, the spectacle of things. And so he likes school for that. But other than that, he doesn't like school. And we told him that, if he wanted to, if he showed some initiative in something that wasn't school related, he could quit school. There's no benefit to being in that penitentiary, the woke penitentiary with those other kids. The other kids aren't making him smarter. The penitentiary is not going to really make him smarter. All the knowledge is available all over the place. Oh, Tim says the same son goes fishing almost every day. I think that's great. I think that's great. Yeah, there are some dudes, some bros around in my town who go fishing in the beautiful Merrimack River, and I'd be fine with that. If my son wanted to be fishing every day too. I think that shows fishing is a kind of an industrious endeavor. We got to learn a little bit about how to trick the fish. You got to learn about lures and how to carry fish and clean fish, if they do clean fish. I don't think too many kids are taking the fish home these days, but hopefully I'm wrong. But cleaning fish and cooking fish, I mean, that's a pretty wonderful thing. Being a young person, going in, catching a rainbow trout or a brook trout somewhere, and then frying them up and eating, like, there's something right about that. And just having a rudimentary knowledge of fishing, which I certainly did as a teenager, and I think you guys probably did too. But it's those things, they never quite tell you. You never quite know, like, how did I get in this position? And how did I, today I was, this morning I was, and I've got a great job. It's the Meanwhile job, the editing job is great. There's so many great minds there, and I don't know. It didn't have to be like that, but it just is like that, and it's a great organization, and there's funny bastards who work there and interesting people, and it was a high level of discord. Like I used to have Slack. I know you guys are on Slack in Microsoft Teams and all those, and for many people, it used to be for me too. It was a nightmare. It was always my source of stress on Slack, people fighting with each other, and I would have to ameliorate or be the referee or do some kind of management stuff that I hated. The Slack for the Meanwhile is all creative thinkers. It's like great. It's fun. And there's a lot of team spirit. But, so you find yourself in a good job or a bad job, and there is a certain empowerment to being... And I don't know how it is for women. But there is an empowerment to, I think, a brotherhood in being men who are older and mostly broken. And I say mostly broken, I mean like having lost parents, getting older, maybe having physical ailments. It's you get to a certain age. There's a certain age where, like, if you have a certain chest pain or whatever, if you're my age or more, you're like, this will pass or this will not pass, and this is finito. Like, you don't have that when you're 22. You don't have any pains when you're 22. It's amazing to be so young and have all that stuff. I also, another thing is, I drive around with Peter Rabbit. Like, today I kept him home today he's sleeping right now. This is why I'm doing this podcast right now, because I got to bring kids to sports and stuff, and Alice is in the big city. But I didn't ever think that there would be, even with my first kid, I don't even think I was that amused. But to hear his nonsense songs he sings as we're driving, it's like, these are good. This is fun. This is entertaining. Everything he knows is going into this song. He thinks he's singing the alphabet, but after ABC, he's gone. It's gone sideways. But it's just very fun, and the theme is Nobody Told Me, which is the name of this episode, as a matter of fact. I think that's all I had to say on that. If there's something else, I'll revisit it. Okay, let's get to some of the substance of today. So this is interesting. There's a story in Newsweek saying, I gave up and chose to self-deport, not because I wanted to, but because I felt like I had no other choice. This is a student who felt like he had to self-deport because Trump is mean. I was just talking to a guy who spent a lot of time in Framingham, Massachusetts. That's the dog barking to go out. Pepper! I'm the only one here, so this is not going to work. Pepper! Come here! Come on, Pepper! Here you go. Here you go. Go ahead and lie down. Go ahead, you can use it. Okay, good. She'll sit on the couch. But he talks about that he notices in Framingham and he drives to Lynn quite often. He said that many of the bodegas and stuff are just gone, all boarded up. And he said that he believes that, this is the guy who drives for a living essentially, that the traffic has diminished everywhere, because he said, I seriously believe it's self-deporting. So many people have self-deported. The places are just less packed. And I think that's interesting. I wouldn't trust anybody to do the research on that, because they're going to tell me for a reason that I don't like. But I'm interested in it. All right, Graham Plattner now. He's in trouble again. It's so funny. This guy, Graham Plattner, the communist from Maine, is still the leading Democratic candidate, but he's had to apologize for everything. This is how Shannon Watts describes it. I'm sorry I used slurs. I'm sorry I was bigoted. I'm sorry I blamed women for rape. I'm sorry I was homophobic. I'm sorry I said black people are cheap, which he did. He said, I'm sorry I celebrated pissing on corpses. I'm sorry I voted for Susan Collins. I'm sorry I got a Totenkopf tattoo. I'm sorry I called rural voters racist. I'm sorry I said all cops are bastards. I'm sorry I endorsed political violence. Here's Plattner's latest apology.
I am endeavoring to improve every single day. I am not a perfect person, and I continue to try to be better. I will say that my politics is one of inclusivity and one of showing up for everybody. And I will continue every day to represent that in our policies and in our campaign.
So his latest thing, he used the R word about disabled people. Are we surprised? We are not surprised. NPR's shortwave podcast casually promoted, this is from Colin Wright, casually promoted sex pseudoscience this week. Their desk, Dr. Emily Kwong, says sex is, quote, hard to define and can be defined by a lot of things like anatomy or hormones or chromosomes. This we're just going to file under, if you're a lefty, if you're a progressive, in 2026, you're living in a delusional fantasy land, and you've committed to it. And you're telling us, take everything that you know to be true, and it's not true. And it's these same delusional people who are deciding, like, oh, we're not going to do data centers in Maine. What? No, we can't. You might draw too much power. Well, I would suggest that if you're any place on Earth, that you show yourself to be receptive to data centers, because that's the whole ball game. But no, they've decided, no, instead of that, I feel bad about my nice house and nice car, so we shouldn't have data centers. We don't deserve them. And we'll just use the data center from the next state over and let them hire all the jobs, hire everybody there, and make their state rich and beautiful. And it's insanity, but this is what they want to do. Listen, this is the chick from NPR, a doctor.
Today on the show, how we sort the sexes in medicine and why there's a lot of problems with that. Okay, Aru and Angelo, today we're talking about sex differences as it relates to the world of medicine, medical care, medical research. And I remember from a previous episode that our colleague Hannah Chin reported, learning that sex is hard to define. It can be defined, in fact, by a lot of things like anatomy or hormones or chromosomes.
So many things. And Marina says that confusion can carry over into how sex is defined when you're a patient in a doctor's office.
I've never been to a doctor's appointment where someone checked how many X chromosomes I had or what kinds of gametes I make. As far as I know, no one's ever even measured my estrogen or testosterone levels. And yet my clinical treatment is supposed to be based on sex categories.
And before we go further, we just want to say that we're using women and men in super binary ways because many studies and experts still use these terms, even though we know that gender and even sex are not binary.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michelle,
Okay. I'm insane. Go ahead. You're insane too. That's fine. That's insane. That's fine. Now that's an example of willfully playing along and being in fantasy land, and then having it manifest itself as your new reality, and so you're just a psychotic. That's all that is. And so she's obviously a psychotic. It's the same people who, and this is a great audio, who have a problem with this young lady. This is a young lady in Maine talking about her experiences and her friends' experiences in a public school system where they allow boys to be in locker rooms and bathrooms with the girls. Now, the reason as a boy you wouldn't want to be, you would want to be in a locker room with a girl is, one, you're clinically insane and you think you're the other gender, which is fine. or two, because naked women are attractive to young men, which is what the truth is. And men have tried to find, for eons, in every movie for young men in the 80s, have tried to find a way to be around naked women. But we're playing this game, and listen, and now listen to this reality for this composed young lady talking to the school board about what this means.
At the high school level, like going into the restroom, there were boys in there. I'd walk out from the stall and there'd be a boy in the stall next to me that I didn't know he was in there. But it also happened like vice versa. There would be a trans student who said that they were a male when they were female who would like try to peek over the urinal stalls. It's very common. People just don't talk about it because they're afraid of getting in trouble. Male student masturbating in the female locker room in Hamden, and my sisters have witnessed that. She's a freshman in high school and she's seen that.
What do they do? The girls?
The girls about it, they don't say anything because they're scared to talk about it. They don't want to cause problems. They're all very good kids. They don't want to make issues in school.
So there you go. But they're doing this anyway. The left is doing this anyway because they want to have the fantasy world that makes them feel the most open-minded and the most good and the most decent. So that's what they're doing. Hampshire College is closing. Hampshire College is a woke, crazy leftist bastion. Here's a student from Hampshire College who's a dude or woman or both or all or none, whatever, talking about Hampshire College closing. This is, once again, this is a entire university based on delusion.
So today my college announced that it is closing. And on the one hand, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that a school with no tests, no grades, and no majors that gave me a circular diploma and a degree in humor studies in the comedic arts went out of business. But on the other hand, it is a little sad.
Can you imagine you paid to get a humor studies in the comedic arts degree? Like, who should be arrested? The parents, this kid, and the school.
It was a really cool environment that let me study whatever I wanted to study and was really comfortable to be transgender in. Also, they recently listed me as a notable alum, so it does kind of feel like an L to be the last one before they close for good. Now listen, was the library open on weekends? No. But it did really shape me into who I am as an artist. Now, some of you may know that
being who he am is not great if you haven't seen the visual.
I have a stand-up special on YouTube that actually launched a lot of my comedy career. But what you may not know is that that was actually my senior thesis to graduate from college. Hampshire wasn't perfect, but it set me up for a career as an artist in a way that no traditional school could have. And I'm sad to see it go. So today I will be honoring its legacy by doing what I did every day that I was on campus, which is getting too stoned to remember my own name. Rest in peace, Hampshire College. Thank you for giving me a place to be weird and gay. I will always cherish the 3 hazy memories I have left from my 4 years within your hallowed halls. That being said, I better not have to pay back those loans.
There you go. You sure as hell better pay back those effing loans, dude. And, being weird and gay is something that you can go do for free in the real world and get paid for doing it. You can go get a job just somewhere and then get paid and then go do stand-up and learn to be an entertainer. But no, they're living the delusion, and that's what the delusion does. This is what it serves. This is how it, quote, benefits those people. Let's see. Okay, a little study about men and women. I wanted to bring this into the movie The Accused. Do you guys remember the movie The Accused? The movie The Accused, when you mention the movie The Accused, if you're a man who saw that movie, you get a little nervous. And if you're a man who saw that movie, you know why you're a little nervous. Now, not me. I'm a really good person, and I'm not like you. Yeah, what a waste of money. So would that doctor give me a pap smear if I asked for one and provide results? Probably. Oh, my goodness. Tim says there's a guy on Twitter who sings songs using lyrics his daughter says during the day, and it's like, oh, that's great. Oh, I wish I could Gype that idea. Maybe I will Gype it. What is the 2 o'clock live baloney? Some of us are chained. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I have no choice today. Yeah, I know. I have no choice today because it's either 2 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and I'm not doing 9 o'clock. So yeah, that's today. Alice is in Boston, so I've got to go in, move kids and grab kids, and they've got baseball, and they've got soccer, and they've got this and that, and some person has to do this, and I have to go cook dinner. I have just stuff to do. That's what it is today. Usually on Thursdays, Alice is here. Today, she is in the big city. Okay. So let me play this first, and then we'll talk more about The Accused and get and have men say the truth about the movie The Accused, which is not going to do, because there is living in a delusional world for insanity reasons, or there is living with in a slightly delusional world because the world's not ready for the truth. And that's what the movie The Accused is. That's what we'll say. So if you watch the movie The Accused, it's a movie in the 80s starring Jodie Foster, based on a true story where a woman is gang raped. Now, the truth is that no men are honest about their feelings about that movie to publicly. And no men are honest about that movie to their wife or girlfriend, most likely. Most likely. And if you say you are, that's fine. But there is no man who is a straight human being, American man, who's over 40 years of age, who would ever take a what's a lie detector test called? Lie detector test. Hey James, what's a lie detector test called? A Goulding-Half test, polygraph. Okay, there was no man who would ever watch that movie and then answer questions about the movie and their feelings about it. Exactly, Big Dan's. While taking a polygraph. Big Dan's. Where was the bar? Is that in Danvers? Where was Big Dan's? And I only say that because we're talking about living a delusion. It's good to be 98% honest. By the way, the accused situation does not apply to me. It applies to people like Tim and Tommy and Steve and people with lesser moral standards, I think, than I have. But yes, but it's a really good one because it's something the only guys discuss who are not me, who are just lesser. And women, polygraph. If you want to, you can ask your husbands or boyfriends about what I'm talking about. I don't know any more than I've said already, but I just bring it up because, once again, we're talking about delusion versus Goulding-Half test. What's a Goulding-Half test? Goulding-Half test. That's what Cheswick says. New Bedford. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. All right. So let me get to this other piece of audio I wanted to play. This is a woman who's got an interesting observation. And I think this is true. I know it's true, as a matter of fact. I know it's true. This is a woman named Esther Perel. I don't know her. But she revealed, I'll let you see what she reveals. She reveals that women do something to their men that men don't do to their women. Listen to this.
I've had more than one, in this instance, men in hetero relationships tell me, if I knew, it's about how much my partner, my girlfriend, my wife, whatever, my girlfriend tells her girlfriends about us, betrayal would be redefined.
Betrayal, yes, exactly.
I think that there is often a sense among women, girls, that it's not a betrayal because I'm talking to my best friend. Whereas for many people, many men, who are much less likely to share that much about their girlfriends to their male friends, if they were to discover all what she is able to put out there, betrayal would be redefined.
That's absolutely and totally true. Totally true, and especially progressive women. I dated Supple in 1997, a few months into our dating. And I blame Supple for this completely because she'd do things like read our bodies ourselves and like push it on me to read. She was a 20-year-old or 19-year-old progressive feminist woman, pain in the ass, a vegetarian who's also picky, so she'd be picky about what restaurants we could go to as a vegetarian. My dad told me then, he said, Tommy, never go out with a picky vegetarian, and he was so right. Anyway, through what I believe is her fault, for the first time in my life, the stuff stopped working for me in the sack. And I remember Supple, it's the first time I ever heard the term. She said, Thomas, I believe you have ED. I'm like, ED? What is ED? She said, well, we know what ED is, right? So anyway, suddenly it just stopped. And it didn't help that she was just so unalluring, like in not sensual and like in feminine, like she just had none of the stuff that her predecessors had, like just being sexy and warm. And so, like, once it gets in your head, and I was only 24 at the time, so now I'm screwed. This is before Viagra, by the way. So I'm screwed. Here, suddenly, stop. I'm finito. Everything gives out. Nothing's working, right? So it was horrific. And she's like, I don't know what to do, Thomas. Should we just be friends? And I'm like, this is enough of a nightmare already. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to... Talking about nobody told me. And it was a nightmare. So she went back to college on the weekdays in Connecticut, and she came back in the weekend, and she said, anyway, Thomas, I've talked to my friend Stacy and Kyra and Janet and Courtney, and we've decided that perhaps you're under some... Like, what the frig? Like, you told the school I was impotent? Oh, my God. That doesn't help you be less impotent. I can tell you, once it's in your mind that, oh, please work, please work, please work, please work. But holy frig, that was my personal experience with some of that stuff. Oh, women. Oh, God. They are not worth it. You know what, Tim? Maybe I will. Maybe I will go gay this year. If I just found men attractive, it would be so great. God, that would be fun. You know that, where's all this stuff? There's so many stuff on it. They have a lot of fun. They live large. They do. I just saw this as a matter of fact, I just saw this article that had Jacques in it, Tim, in Bay Village. Jacques is an old gay bar, a kind of tranny bar in Bay Village. And I saw that had Jacques in it, and it said, somebody accused of using foul language and stealing something. It's like, yeah, that's Jacques. What do you think is going to happen? That's like what you're supposed. That's what happens there. These bars are no picnic. Murder, suicide. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to do another thing where I tell you it's okay to kill your ex-wife if she cheats. But okay, I need to get something ready here. I thought I sent this to myself. Maybe I did not. Maybe I did it. Maybe let me just check something. You stay right there. Let me see. I thought I had sent this to myself. Tom Shattuck. It's the messaging now of Twitter is so tough. Let me just look this up here. YouTube. This is be quiet. Be quiet. Hold on. Okay.
Now we got to go help people customize and...
Okay, give me 1 second here. I just want to get this ready. And then we're going to do the chat here. Okay. Ready? Let's do the chat. Okay.
Last night I'm trying to decipher, why is Tom doing another hit piece on how he hates the Boston accent unless it's from his former girlfriend from Somerville. And then...
Don't say Somerville. I say Malden, Tim. I'm trying to disguise where she's from. Change it to Malden. You doxed her. You doxed Susan.
I saw the post. Yep. That post, Tom, the one that was shared with me that showed you with your new sneakers and you calling them trainers.
Yes.
You Euro dink. Oh, you know, I always knew you were an Obama acolyte, but you really are a global elitist. So what's next? Are you going to, when you don't feel well, you're going to go to hospital instead of the hospital? You taking the family on holiday this year instead of vacation? Ugh. You know, you are the David Scondrus of those circles, and you can have them.
The cool new trainers. That's what I have. They're great, too. They're Brooks shoes. They're the only ones I get. I tried to get Asics or whatever last month. They're rubbish. Brooks are the only way to go. The thing is they get reined in and ruined quickly. No, cool new trainers comes from a very important place, Tim. Comes from the great masterpiece about a boy with the great, maybe the greatest actor of all time, Hugh Grant. Come on now. Comes from this, among other scenes, this scene.
Of her pep talks.
You will end up childless and alone.
Well, fingers crossed, yeah.
And you must have a lot of courage.
Why is that, Christine?
Well, most people need something in their lives to keep them afloat. And you have absolutely nothing. Doesn't that scare you?
Do you know what you want?
Oh, yes, I do. I have
Now
this
what the
steak.
hell are these little after-school tea parties about?
Hi. Sorry? What did you say?
Well, I was just wondering why a single, childless man would want to hang out with a 12-year-old boy every day.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell your mum that you've been coming round?
I think I forgot.
Tell me what? What are you doing with my son?
Wait a minute. What exactly are you suggesting here?
Well, I'm not suggesting anything.
Well, I think you are. I think you were suggesting that I've been interfering with your son.
I'm simply asking you why you entertain 12-year-olds in your flat.
My God. Oh, my God.
What do you have to say for yourself? Well?
Don't well me about it, for Christ's sake. He comes round uninvited every night of the week, and do you know why? Because he's having the shit bullied out of him at school. And you haven't got a clue. You're sending him out there like a lamb to the slaughter.
By the way, this is a great movie, and she is the perfect progressive. This is from, like, the year 2000 or so, but she's the perfect progressive, 2002.
He's been taken to pieces every day of the week, you daft fucking hippie.
I think you're being a bit melodramatic. Marcus is doing fine.
It was strange. Will had it right, and Mum didn't. It was supposed to be the other way around.
Maybe you haven't had very much contact with kids before.
Well, I used to be a bloody kid. I used to go to a bloody school, and I know the difference between kids who can't settle down and kids who are just plain miserable. Look at him, for Christ's sake. Don't accuse me of being melodramatic. This coming from a woman who tried to...
Cowabunga!
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. Just felt like a shout.
Jesus, what a family.
Will, you're disturbing the other customers.
Well, it's fine. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Okay, so you're not
What? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Listen, don't worry about it. I will not open the door to Marcus again, okay? I'll be glad to be rid of the pair of you, frankly. Go on, bugger off. Sorry.
So that's it, is it? You're just out of his life, like that?
Excuse me?
Well, let's say you're right and I'm wrong. Let's say there's this whole world going on for Marcus that I don't understand, and somehow, miraculously, you do. Well, what are you going to do about it?
Oh, I'm not going to do anything. He's none of my business.
Oh, God, you're a selfish bastard.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling him. He always puts himself first.
But I'm on my own. It's just me. I'm not putting myself first because there's nobody else.
Yes, there is. There's Marcus. You're involved now. He keeps coming around your bloody house. I understand you've come into his life for a reason, and you can't just shut him out. You can't shut life out. No man is an island.
She's right, you know.
Yeah, she is.
No, she's not. She's wrong. Some men are islands. I'm a bloody island. I'm bloody Ibiza.
What are you talking about?
Do you want to come over for Christmas?
All right, now it would have helped in those last 3 minutes if he actually said cool new trainers. And it said, the search in YouTube said cool new trainers. It's just that it didn't bring cool new trainers as a scene. Is that it? Believe me, he says cool new trainers, okay? Damn it, that's what they say. He bought the kid some new sneakers, and he said, look, I got cool new trainers. And then some kid stole his cool new trainers. And so I say cool new trainers, and my kids don't even know that they're not called that. That's my thing now. I stole it from Hugh Grant. Use my cool new trainers against me. Dare you.
Hey, Ruben Shattuck, listen.
Ruben.
This predator that you knew at EEI.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to out this guy right now to the police. I mean, this is he's just putting his hands everywhere on girls. On
she was fine with it. Believe me, I was interesting.
Girls, promotion girls.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know who this guy is. You claim he's about in his 60s or 70s. I don't know if the statute of limitations is done, but call this guy out. This is a predator who needs to be arrested immediately. This is just crazy. Out this person right now.
She did not act like it was a predator. I will say that. I will say that he is, not surprisingly, of Hibernian descent.
I want to step on Billy the Ombudsman's toes, but he's got a fair point, as always. I mean, is this the show now, Tom peacocking for postmenopausal women?
What does that mean?
First you're playing Kate Hudson on a terrible podcast. Obviously, it's not for us, right? But if you want to know what the vacuum of space is like, just take a listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
Still don't know what the point of that clip was, other than to say, hey, Alice isn't here, and Kate Hudson is saying that postmenopausal women are sexy, and my name's Tom, and I'm available. I don't know. And then the clip you played last night is some chick saying she wanted to be a traditional wife, but was mocking it. Again, I'm really not clear, other than you putting those signals out there. I mean, the pheromone is coming off the airwaves on this one. Alice, come get your boy before he gets in trouble, please.
I dare you. That is incorrect. Kate Hudson thing was, there was two things. She was trying to explain away just the natural hotness and youngness of women in their 20s. And I thought it was silly. I get it. Women are crazy. That's what that means.
Tom, you realize Ed Markey was nice to your dad because he was the head of the Small Business Administration, right?
Well,
the fact that he gave you a dum-dum lollipop when you were 9 years old, that doesn't make him a good guy. Not to mention, he's been in office since before you were 9.
I know.
The relationship between your dad and Ed Markey was mutually beneficial. That's why he was nice to him. That's why he remembered him.
Yeah,
Did he ever send a Christmas card?
No.
Did he ever come over with a ham?
No.
I doubt it.
He liked us.
Let's just shove that aside, will you, please? There are no warm feelings for that man. He's as vapid as space.
He is.
Okay?
He was nice to me in 1981, and I'm not getting over it. My dad was not the head of the Small Business Association, although they wanted him to be. By the time he was thinking of retiring and moving back to his hometown, he was the the executive vice president of the Smaller Business Association of New England. But he had some juice at one time. All right.
I take it back, Tom.
Hey, Tim. Thank you.
I'm going to use your Eurodink perspective to my advantage. Because now I can call you names that really won't be offensive to us Americans, but are definitely offensive words, like saying that you are absolutely a poof, a shirt lifter.
Shirt lifter?
You and your trainers, you Euro cuck.
Poof as in poofta. I'm familiar with that one, yes. I worked with some English guys, and I was a ship's photographer when I was 15 years old. On a ship that subsequently sunk we're thinking it was an insurance job, just FYI. All right, where do I find my thing? Where do I find the thing? Oh, here's the thing. Okay. Okay, doesn't... His name is... Okay, that's what... Orfall River was down that way. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Cheswick says, that's what you said. I said Goulding half test? Did I really? Damn, it's disappointing. Dishy says, TIC, his name is Steven Spencer, and his IG is at Steven Spencer. It wasn't TIC. It was this guy. My guy was WEEI. I don't know who Steven Spencer is, though. Takeem Kenton says, thanks, Dishy. Supple drink. Yeah, I did mention Supple. She plays into this thing. Told her friends. Jesus. Cheswick says, does anybody have the Burn Barrel bingo card? How dare you? Concierge upcoming. Best glory holes in Boston. I've never seen a glory hole in Boston. I've only seen one ever in Chicago near Lakeshore Drive and that little bike path there. Did I miss a Paul story? Incorrect. P-Town, here we come. The only time I was ever in P-Town, actually, I was with Supple. Supple and my friend Mastro, Trish, and his girlfriend at the time. Hi, Tiny. Hi, Mr. New Hampshire. I hope Sunday we hear the entire battle for Mordor. About a Boy is a masterpiece and should have won about 30 Oscars. Freaking masterpiece. My kids have seen it. I've shown my kids, and they also agree. And these are kids who don't like to give me compliments very often. They also agree that it was a freaking great show. All right, guys, I'll see you later. By the way, in 1 hour, I'm on Mainwire TV. Join us. Go to the Robinson Report or go to the Mainwire. Go to themainwire.com. You can click off to the Robinson Report. It's also on Twitter. I think it plays live as well. So I'll tweet that out. So we're talking politics and scandal and all sorts of stuff there. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me this week. I'll see you Sunday. C'est La Vie. Do I love that I gave that peace sign? Check one. Here we go. 5, 1. Perfect progressive. This is from like the year 2000 or so, but she's the perfect progressive. 2002.
He's been taken to pieces every day of the week, you daft fucking hippie. Fucking hippie.
Bit melodramatic. Marcus is doing fine.
It was strange. Will had it right, and Mum didn't. It was supposed to be the other way around.
Maybe you haven't had very much contact with kids before.
Well, I used to be a bloody kid. I used to go to a bloody school and